Representative Baltimore, are Republicans being hypocritical about local control, which has been, as David said earlier, sort of a battle cry of the Republicans in the past?
Well, I think local control is always important. However, we also have to understand that sometimes local decisions have a broader impact, and there's a broader interest involved, and that's where the state comes in. The whole concept that we have here constitutionally and is set up legally is all of these entities are political subdivisions of the state.
What's the broader impact of a plastic bag decision in any community?
Well, I don't know so much about the plastic bags, but I can certainly speak to minimum wage, for instance. You know, that's a situation where we're trying to have business interests that aren't sitting there trying to make competing decisions in labor force areas when we think that the state as a whole is a much better entity or geographic area for us to make those kind of decisions.
Representative Hall, what's the broader impact of the Sioux City Council saying we don't want guns in our public library?
Well, I would start with the basic point that local elected officials are probably more responsive to their communities than the state might be. If a city council, a school board, a county board of supervisors makes a decision, I would be willing to bet that they have a good sense of how their community feels about it. This is just time and time again this session examples of the Republican legislature choosing to intervene when they disagree with decisions made at the local level. If there's a decision made that they do agree with, sure, it's a great shining example of local control. But when they do disagree with it, you can see on the minimum wage, you can see on courthouse safety or other issues, they're saying the legislature knows best and you shouldn't trust your local elected officials to make these decisions. And it's unfortunate.
At the same time,
how do you respond to that?
Well, I would respond with the vote we took earlier this week on home rule for schools, which we Republicans thought was important for local control, for local school boards to be better able to manage their affairs. Roundly disputed and rejected and opposed by Democrats. So we can have that discussion all day long, but I think at a certain point in time, I don't think either party necessarily gets to claim to be the champion of local control without some exceptions.
I would just say that I was one of the Democrats that voted for that bill. It was a bipartisan vote. We believed that there was an opportunity to give local school boards that opportunity to have their say and do so without the state intervening. But you can't just pick and choose. If we're going to be champions of local control, we should also do so consistently.